In today's video, I'll be walking you guys through how to create a responsive navbar icon using HTML and CSS, or you can call it a hamburger menu or a burger menu. So this is a quick demo. I have my logo on the far left, my navbar items. As you can see in the middle, well centered. I have my navbar icon on the far right, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to minimize this to mobile version, and as you can see, it's responsive, and that's pretty much it. Without wasting much time, let's dive into the coding aspect. And in here, I like to create a folder, and I would like to call it, let me see, I would like to call this, I would like this to be in my I like to create a folder in here. I'm going to call this a nav demo. I'm going to want to select this. And as always, I like to create my index file, index.html, and I also like to create my CSS folder. And in there, I like to have a file by name style.css, which will contain all my styling. And in my index, as we all know the basics, and I like to have my title as nav demo, responsive nav demo. Save it, right click it, run, open with live 0, and as you can see, we have our title as what? Responsive nav demo. Okay, you're right. So moving on, we will now like to create link our style.css style. All right, great. So now I would like to start with our header. And in our header, I would like to have our nav with a class of nav. Right, and then also would like to have a div with a class of logo, and in the logo would like to have a h3 with an a tag in between, and this will be our logo. All right, control save. Yep, everything looking good. Right after the closing tag of the div, we will now move on with our UL. We like to have a UL with a class of Navbar brand. I use Bootstrap cheat a lot, so I'm kind of used to the Navbar brand. And in here, we like to have our LI with a tags in between them, pound sign. And we like to have home, and we like to duplicate these 3 times. This will be contact. This will be promotions, and yeah, as you can see, we will then move on to our styling, and I'll like to get rid of all unwanted margins and patterns to 0, and then I like to have my box sizing to border box. Okay, great. All right, so now this is what I want. And then moving on, right after my closing UL, I would like to have another class of what burger. Let's say I want to call this burger, and in between the burger, I would like to have a class of line 1. Right, and I'd like to duplicate this 3 times. So this is going to be our navbar icon. Right, so now we don't see it because I need to style it before we can see it. So remember we did create a class of nav, and also moving on in the nav. Actually, first let's make our work looks so nice. So let me first, give my body a background color of linear gradient. Linear gradient to right, and I would like to have this as pink and aqua. Alright, yeah, this is what I want. Alright, great. And then moving on with the nav, I would like to also have a background image of linear gradient, and I like to have this also to right, and that will also be pink, and I like to have RGBA of 42, 204, and then 204. Kind of like light aqua. Yeah. All right. And then I like to display a flex. You can either use grade. It works fine. And I also like to justify content text to actually have everything space evenly, and I like to have this space around. Okay, great. And then moving on, I also like to align my items center. Nice. And then I like to have a min height, like min height of say 9 VH. Min height of 9 VH. So you can choose to either have it as a line height or min height. So as you can see, if I say 19, it's going to stretch all the way down. See that? The space from here to here. So let's maintain the 9 VH. Okay, that's fine. And then moving on, I would like to work on the logo. And with our logo, we'll actually want to have a letter spacing of 3 pixels. As you can see, great, looks nice. Like list style, we're gonna want to have a text decoration of none to get rid of the underline. Text decoration. Let me see. Now, it's because it's in a tag. So just duplicate this. Include the a tag. Include the a, yeah, and it's gonna work. It's gonna disappear. Okay, all right, great. So nice. So moving on, I like to work on my burger, and my burger I like to display grid, and also I like to have a grid gap of 0.3 rem, and want to have a cursor to pointer. I like to have my margin set to what, 4 pixels. Okay, great. All right. Moving on, I also like to style this. Style this right here. Okay, so I'll be now gonna have our H3A. Like have the color set to light coral. Yeah, that's good. And also want to have I think text decoration done. Yeah, we already got rid of that, and yeah, that's okay. Then also moving on, I think the font is kind of very little font size. Change this to 2 rem just to make it bigger. Yeah, and I would like to text transform, change this to uppercase, change everything to okay. All right, great, everything looking nice. It's looking nice now. Yeah, this is what I wanted. So I'd like to continue to actually work on our Navbar brand, and I like to actually copy this, cut it, and I would like to have this where is it? Oh, okay, all right, no problem. Yes, please. Okay, all right, great. So on our Navbar brand, I like to display a flex, and I would like to justify content, space around. Great. And then also moving on, we'll also want to change the color to white. Yeah, okay. And then we would like to have a width, just to actually put a space between this. So we like to have a width set to 30%. Okay, great. Now everything look good. And I'd like to get rid of what, the dot, the white dotted circle, or the white. Yeah, I'd like to get rid of that. So let's keep working. Nav brand, and this time around targeting the A tag, and on the A tag we'll like to have the color set to white. I would also like to have text decoration to none. Text decoration to none. Color, yeah, text decoration to none. Okay, all right. So this is good so far. Moving on to the LI. Need to have a list style of none. So this will get rid of the what, dotted. Okay, great, nice. So I know some of you wondering why you can see the Navbar icon. Don't worry, we'll soon get there, because we'll give it a class of what, line 1, and we've not styled our line 1 class yet. So soon we will style it, and then you will see it. So let's finish with now let's start with that. So we give it a line 1, and I'd like to duplicate this 3 times. And this is going to be line 2. This is going to be line 3. And then I like to have a background. I like to have the color set to white, right? And I'll also like to actually have my width set to 35 pixels, my height 3 pixels, and I also like to have my border to be 2 pixels dotted, and I like to have a color of blue, and I like to have my grid column. I like to have that to 6-7, as you can see. Okay, so great, you're looking good so far. Oh, let me, you know what, let me change this to yellow. Okay, all right, nice. So without wasting much time, I'm going to copy this and paste it in here, just so we have 3 of those, and then that will represent our navbar icon. And as you can see, everything is attached, and that's not that, it doesn't look cool. So we like to have create a space in between them, right? And in order for us to create a space, we'll have to include a margin. It should be in the burger. Where is the burger? This should be here. Yeah, let me cut this right here. I'm gonna want to bring this here. What is going on? Oh, okay. Okay, so I see margin 4 pixels. Line 1. Okay, so great. As you can see, that's pretty much it, and it's responsive. Once you scroll it, you see this right here. It doesn't look cool, so we like to work on our media query just to actually maintain the space. Doesn't look cool once you actually see that. Once you slide it to the left, So we would like to actually, once we get to 724 pixels, we will still like to maintain the width, and our width before was 30% here, right? So this time around we'll like to maintain our width, I think, to 50%. So excuse me. So media screen, and we'll like to actually, I think it's gonna be what, nav brand. I like to have our width set to 50%. And max width to what? I think it was 764, I think. Let's see. So you see that? It now looks cool. It now looks even. See that this is responsive. And hey guys, thank you. You can always play around with your navbar icon. You can always, you can either choose to make it round. You can either choose to actually design it, circle it, whichever way you want. All right. So thank you for tuning in. As always.